Tonight, the Austintown Fitch Falcons welcome in the Canfield Cardinals in the first game. We're going to start off pretty much the next couple weeks of conference play, which this officially opens up. It's a thing Coach Beanie's really excited about. Ty Bartel alongside Brandon Colangelo with the call tonight. And Brandon, I mean, after a win, we saw that big win against Mooney that Fitch had in overtime.
Absolutely.
This is a Falcons team. They sit at a 3-5 record, but they haven't been playing like that as of recent.
No, especially last game against a hard win against Mooney in overtime, coming out and just sticking it to them and keeping on the gas pedal as they were down. But, I mean, coming into this game, I mean, you're going to want to keep the momentum piling on Canfield. I mean, coming in with a clear height advantage like you stated before the game, Ty. And, I mean, Canfield, stopping a little bit of a skid in their last four, picking up a win against Louisville in their last game. Both teams are looking to keep it on tonight.
Out of the Fitch's starting rotation, out of the players that are on there, what you've seen recently, what are some players you want to watch tonight?
I mean, you just announced him, Todd Simons. I mean, the man has been on another level this season, averaging
over 20. I think we have him as 23, just over 23 points per this season.
There you go. I mean, your key scoring option. I mean, a great guard, Alan Underwood out there also under the basket. Joe Roth showing great talent. I mean, there's a lot of good things firing, and also there's also Cam Smith. I mean, just a lot of good players that Austintown has.
Looking at the other side, Canfield coming in at 3-6, both similar records. Trey Dye is the guy you're going to want to watch. He's number 11 for the Canfield Cardinals. He's averaging just under 18 points, 17.9 per game. Another big player is Slavin. Comes off the bench primarily, big three-point scoring option for this Canfield Cardinals team. Right now, meeting in the middle is Lowry and Simons, ready for the opening tip-off in a game that really could jumpstart either of these teams. This could be the Falcons' third straight win. Canfield snapped a 3-game losing streak with a win against Louisville. As Joe Roth tried to tip that second shot in, Isaac Boyd gets the rebound, though. Isaac Boyd works his way inside, up and in. And this seems to be the starting five the Falcons are trying to finally get comfortable with. We see Joe Roth, Isaac Boyd getting the start, Cam Smith. They're starting to finally get that offensive structure that they've been looking for all season.
Right, kind of looking for finally a set starting five with Boyd getting the start.
Working his way in was Marinelli. Now kicks it out to Dye. Dye, turnaround, fadeaway jumper, no good, rattles around the rim. Getting it is Boyd. Boyd running in transition, Underwood on the other side. Goes to the corner, now out to the wing is Boyd. Gets it to Simons at the top of the key. Simons trying to work his way in. Dye is covering, tried to get it to Roth. Foul on the entry pass. That's going to be on Escobar. Interesting thing to see, too, both the Cardinals and the Falcons utilize about 10 players per game. Falcons haven't really met too many teams that do that. Usually teams go around 7, 8. Both teams really utilizing as many players as they can as that shot rattles around. Remember, too, on the first shot or any bucket that Simons makes, he will take sole possession of second place, passing the great Bill Jacobson for Falcons' all-time scoring record. As that three-pointer uncorked from Dye, no good. Fight for the rebound, coming down with it. Simons has it and fouled, trying to dribble it up court. And they're going to get it on Escobar. As Escobar, 2 straight fouls, 2 fouls picked up early on. Might need to think about subbing him out now.
Yeah, it might be a good idea, get him off the floor, cool him off a bit, just picking up too many fouls to start the game.
Pantelak is guarding Simons, now switched on him as Dye. Simons gets around that left block, tried to go inside to Boyd, stolen away though, and gets another steal, goes all the way up with it, gets it rattled in, and he has sole possession of second place in Falcons history now with that bucket. 1,102 all-time points for Todd Simons, and more importantly, a 4-0 lead for the Falcons. As Dye dribbles it around the logo, Cam Smith is guarding. Dye works his way to the wing, now works inside around the free throw line. Beautiful pass inside, up and in with the reverse layup.
Catches Ross sleeping down low, comes right in behind him for the easy lay-in.
Lowry able to sneak his way in there with a reverse layup, puts it up, puts it in. Simons trying to feel himself on a heat check, gets the ball back though. Simons, pass inside to Cam Smith, up and in, and the beautiful passing ability. He tells you he doesn't need to just score. He's got plenty of tools out there on the court, does Simons. As Marinelli, inside pass, up and into Escobar. And that was just a beautifully designed play. They caught him sleeping down low.
Right, great look down low for the easy pass and score.
Underwood working his way up. Marinelli guarding Underwood got him on his shoulder. Falcons gets the ball back out of bounds. Tried to get him right on that left shoulder. Went up with it, just lost control of it going up.
Yeah, and you see he's going to the basket, looking for contact every single time he drives the ball. Alan Underwood, that is. And he doesn't get it there. The good strip by Canfield.
As Smith to Simons, stops and pops, no good. Rebounded Canfield.
I think they're aware of the mid-range game, Ty. They're getting up in his face.
I mean, this is conference play too, Brandon. So these guys, they've seen each other. I mean, a lot of these guys for Canfield, they've seen Todd Simons since he started as a sophomore. They know what he's all about. Trying to get it in between as that pass falls in between both Underwood and Boyd.
Yeah, just a miscommunication, both looking at each other, didn't know who was going to grab it.
And when we talked with Coach Beanie, he talked about that game against Mooney with the Falcons, and he said this team is comprised of a lot of instinctive players that they just do things on their own with what they think can make an impact. And talk to me about those type of players, Brandon, and just having those type of players that just kind of just do what they feel is right on the court.
Well, I mean, when you have a player that can do what they feel is right on the court, I mean, they have great basketball ability. A lot of intangibles. I mean, that goes to say basketball IQ, just an intuitive sense for the game that can help you so much. I mean, when it comes natural, it's just too easy sometimes.
As Dye was guarding Simons, gets it to Cam Smith, tries to work his way in, mid-range game, up and in. And this is an area of the game that Cam Smith, if he's able to unlock, it's really going to open up that three-point shooting ability for him. Usually operates from the perimeter, Brandon, but if he could work inside out, he could really open up that three-point shot for him.
Especially if he's working on the pull-up game like we saw there. I mean, great, tremendous talent if he can get that going.
Driving baseline, now has to pass out. That gets it to Gerdick. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded Simons, had 17 of them in the game against Mooney. Going out of bounds, and no, it doesn't. He saved it, he kept it inbounds. On the transition game is Canfield, up and in. Beautiful shot all the way. That is Zane McElroy. Cutting it to just a 2-point Falcons lead, and great effort all around from the Cardinals on that possession. Simons trying to work his way inside, trying to go high off the glass. They are doing a great job containing Simons right now. McElroy with the ball, met by Boyd, stops, gets it over to the wing. Driving in now from the left side, pass out, shot is up from Lowry, no good, but the foul will send him to the line for 2.
That foul's on Joe Roth.
But right now, what we're seeing too, what Canfield is doing, how are they doing such a good job containing Simons down low?
I mean, they're just getting up in the space of the shooter. They're just not allowing him to rise and use that that lanky build he has, that great elevation he can create on the jump shot. And they're just really just trying to get in his face. That's what it is, trying to confuse him.
As we see Simons subs off, they almost go a whole group substitution here as we see Dan Evans, Michael Palmer, Nate Leskovac, and just almost a full group substitution right now for the Falcons.
Interesting to see Beanie's strategy going here, just a fresh start.
And I mean, he likes using those subs in and out, and I mean, it just makes all these players effective. Cam Smith out to Palmer from the mid-range, tried to get it off glass, no good. Rebounded McElroy. McElroy running it on the fast break, met by Palmer, stops at the wing, now has the reset, kicks it out to number 4, that is Petro. And it is a foul. Looks like Deshaun Vaughn pushed up on him. Deshaun Vaughn got some valuable minutes last game. We saw him, not the greatest shooting night, but he really is kind of that other three-point threat for the Falcons in their rotation.
Right, and he performed great last game and making a lot of his attempts. But, I mean, he has great hustle minutes out there on the floor at his position at the guard.
That's a nice block by Dan Evans, able to strip it inside to Vaughn. Vaughn blocked from behind, no, and they're going to call a foul. No, they're going to go back to the Cardinals. Dan Evans, they're going to call that a charge there.
Interesting call.
2:58 left in the first quarter of play. Falcons leading it by 8-7. As Dan Evans trying to get up in the space of Dye. Dye just speeds right past him. Dye trying to work to his spot. Beautiful move inside, puts it up and puts it in. An array of moves working down the sideline all the way inside from Trey Dye, and gives the Cardinals their first lead of this game. McElroy guarding Evans now. Evans working his way to the wing. Now backs out to Cam Smith. Cam Smith tries to drive inside. Gets stopped in between 2 defenders. Kicking it out now. McElroy running.
Getting a little too fancy there, Cam Smith, that is.
On Deshaun Vaughn. Rebounded, though. Simons looking ready to check back in. Second shot attempt up and in, and these offensive rebounds are hurting the Falcons, as Gerdick was able to grab the offensive board, put it up and put it in, and that's where Coach Beanie has said Falcons have struggled this year as far as getting the offensive boards and then being able to get those second chance points in from the opposing team. As we see now, Dan Evans working his way to the wing. Screen set by Vaughn. Shot up. Could not find the bottom. As we're running in fast break. McElroy all the way up and in, and that is too easy of a bucket on the fast break.
They're just getting beat out in the run, out in transition.
As Palmer now has the ball, handling it. Up on him is McElroy, getting it out to Vaughn. Screen set by Smith. Deshaun Vaughn out to Leskovac, now to Dan Evans. Dan Evans works his way to the free throw line and up, no good, but the foul will send Leskovac to the line for 2. And we talked about this with Coach Beanie before the game, and he said the strategy with this Canfield Cardinals team is got to jump on them early and go fast, make or miss is the kind of tempo that he wants to play at. And we saw it too. I mean, what Mooney did with the Falcons, they did a really good job of playing at Mooney's tempo, but the Falcons somehow, some way, fourth quarter, were able to kind of switch the whole gears on that and kind of play into their tempo, and that's where we saw that advantage. It's all about if the Falcons can really get it into their tempo where they're running, gunning, fast, quick, and in a hurry type of scoring.
Absolutely. Falcons need to play at their pace if they want to win.
As we see now, making 2 free throws at the line was Nate Leskovac. Now Cardinals bringing it up court. Pantelakis kicking it out to Petro. Petro to Pantelakis from 3, no good, rebounded by Vaughn. Deshaun Vaughn to Palmer. Palmer tries to go all the way up, and there's going to be a foul called. Palmer's going to go to the line for 2, another shooting foul.
That foul's on Zane McElroy. That's his
But we see too, I mean, this Canfield Cardinals team, really good job of blocking from the back. They get those chase down blocks down pat pretty much.
Yeah, they're quick on offense. That is defense in transition. Quick to get to the layup attempt. Great defense so far by Canfield.
As McElroy checking out, checking back in is Trey Dye. As Michael Palmer making his first of 2 free throws. Second one bounces out, and getting the rebound was Gerdick. Bringing it up now is Petro. Palmer is covering. Petro around the logo, trying to get past Palmer. Palmer with a good clamps on defense. Tried to get it inside to Gerdick. Roth is covering Gerdick, and Roth does a great job of guarding taller defenders as a traveling violation is called on Pantelakis. Will go back to the Falcons. And I mean, talk to me about Roth. We talked to him, talk about the positioning rebounding wise, but I mean, guarding bigger guys just doesn't affect Joe Roth.
It doesn't seem to. He plays a lot bigger than his size. He battles down low. He uses his strength to just grab the boards over defenders, and positioning also, Ty, like we mentioned a lot. Great positioning down low just to get the better angle on the ball.
Allen Underwood inside to Simons, shot up and in, beautiful. That connection between Allen Underwood and Simons, that chemistry's been building all season long, and you could just tell it's getting stronger as the season goes. And almost tipped on that pass. Dye matched up with Simons. Underwood going to pick him up. Underwood does pick him up. Tried to go inside pass, goes out of bounds. Was just expecting Pantelakis to be there. He wasn't.
Right, I mean, that's just the intensity of the Falcons also in defense. Just confusing him, hands up in the face, and just not letting him think, even for a second.
Just under 20 seconds to go, all tied up at 13 here in the first. Dan Evans trying to get some space on Petro. Evans working his way to the left wing, inside to Simons. Single dribble, step up, no good, blocked in fact. Goes out of bounds. Falcons keep possession, 6 seconds exactly on the clock. But, I mean, great defense down low, again, blocking Simons. But he's not a type of guy that's going to stop taking shots.
Absolutely not. He didn't get the number 2 all-time with Fitch for nothing.
As Simons gets the ball back off of Joe Roth, fadeaway jumper, no good. Fighting for the rebound down low, and that's going to be, did we blow a whistle before the time ran out? No. That's going to be it for the first quarter. Looks like they were blowing the whistle maybe for an out-of-bounds call, it looked like. But nonetheless, we are all tied up at 13, and between conference play, this is what you expect. Records go out the window. And, of course, we will have that second quarter of play and more here live on ysnlive.com.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown is going the extra mile. With the largest inventory of new 2020 Chevrolet vehicles, your journey to a better vehicle starts at the Mahoning Valley's #1 new car dealer, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
Welcome back in as we get ready for second quarter action between the Canfield Cardinals and the Austintown Fitch Falcons. And Brandon, what we saw too in that first quarter, talk to me about what the Cardinals were doing well and how Fitch was able to respond.
Well, the Cardinals were out on defense. I mean, they were really ball hawking. They were really forcing the issue, getting a lot of block from behind, that is, on transition buckets from Austintown. But you know, the game is tied here. Austintown just using their kind of defensive prowess, and another travel there for the turnover to go the Fitch's way.
Yeah, I mean, another turnover, though. But, I mean, what we're seeing, too, I mean, what we said, too, records kind of go out the window when it comes to conference play. I mean, yeah, the conferences aren't as, like, a big deal as they were back then, for example. But, I mean, it's still, these games matter, especially when you play, like, if you're Fitch, the Canfields, the Boardmans, the Polands. These are still important games when they play them.
Absolutely. The interconference play just build up the rivalry, the neighborhood rivalries. You love to see the play.
As Cam Smith will be inbounding, gets it in to Evans. Evans matched up with Dye, kicks it out to Underwood. Underwood tries to work his way inside, try to go up and in with the layup. Evans gets it back on the rebound, no good on the short shot, goes back to Evans. Evans trying to find somewhere to kick it out to, gets it to Simons, kept his dribble through all of it. Simons works his way back to the top of the key. Guarding him is Pantelakis. Calling a play is Simon trying to work his way to the right of Pantelakis. Now Simon's stuck there. One single move up and in, and that is where he's so quick. Fakes it to the right, goes out to the left, up and in. Simons gives the Falcons a lead back. And what we talked about, too, Falcons have done this great job of, even when they go down, they've been able to battle adversity the last few games, Brandon, and it's something that they've kind of worked on over the season, of just being able to never be out of games and just always work their way back in. It's a beautiful shot in by Dye, up and in for another bucket, and tying it at 15. Roth now with the ball. Roth tried to work it out through the hands of Dye. Now to Evans. Evans tried to go up and in, and he does. Off the glass, rolls around the rim, up and through. 17-15, Falcons leading at 6:25 left in the second. Kicking it to the corner now. Gerdick out to Dye. Covering Dye is Evans. Dye tries to work his way out, tipped out of his hands by Evans. Evans, a quick defender with quick hands. Getting it out to Pantelakis, now back out. Marinelli tries to drive to his left. Cam Smith is with him. And we see a 3-second violation called as the Falcons get it back, and just a lot of just mental errors right now on the Canfield Cardinals side.
Yeah, just a lot of turnovers. Really unfortunate to see it happen when you're playing so well thus far. It's just silly mistakes that you're going to want back.
As a fadeaway jumper from Cam Smith, could not get that one to go wide left. Rebound to Canfield, tries to go coast to coast, and he does, all the way, one end to the other. Beautiful shot from Canfield, tying it up at 17. Simon tries to respond with a three, no good. Rebounded again by Canfield. Trying to drive it down sideline, now kicking it out to the wing. Three-pointer is up, no good. Getting the rebound is Pantelakis, blocked out by Simons. Getting the rebound is Evans to Underwood. Underwood stops, tries to get it up. Second chance attempt, up and in by Joe Roth. And he is so good at just following those type of shots, Brandon.
Right, he's just waiting under the basket for the board, and he puts it up and in. Too easy for Roth.
As Trey Dye works his way in on Evans, tries to go shot up, no good. Rebounded by Simons. Simons now driving sideline in between three Cardinals. Works his way around all of them. Simons up and in through all the defenders.
He makes it look easy out there, Ty, just slashing through defenders.
Sent him a postcard, gave a handshake to almost every Cardinal defender that was on the floor on the way down. An immediate response by a triple. No, they're going to call that a two, but an immediate response nonetheless by Canfield, up and in. And I mean, this is what you expect with conference play. Punch, counter punch.
Absolutely, Ty. Great intense play tonight, and I kind of felt the energy before the game. They're really showing it now. Great intense play on both ends of the floor for both teams.
And I mean, you saw Coach Beanie almost an immediate timeout. He wants those scores, but he wants to be able to run up that score. He doesn't want them to lax on defense right after they get a big score, like what Simons was just able to do on the other side of court before that score. He
wants their team to keep their foot on the gas. He doesn't want them to let up one bit, and they're gonna need to keep the gas for sure on Canfield.
As nonetheless, at 4:50 left in the first half of play, the Falcons are up 21-19. They will have possession outside of this timeout. Simons has checked out. Nate Leskavac's checked in alongside Deshaun Vaughn. As Leskavac will be inbounding, does so to Dan Evans. 4:45 left in the first half. Deshaun Vaughn out to Evans, now to Boyd. Trying to go around the horn with the passing right now, back to top. And I mean, this is where the Falcons, they do this sometimes where you feel like they get stagnant, but they've really started to just do it. They kind of lull you to sleep, and that before they go with these quick hit attacks. And then you saw Underwood kind of come up there with a quick cut. And this is what they do. It's just they burn some clock. They kind of get you on your toes, and then they make a quick strike move as Dan Evans tried to work his way inside to the free throw line, now outside to Underwood. Underwood now driving to his right, try to go up inside and in. No, could not get the pass off to Leskavac, but a fight down low with an able to get it out was Lowry, and they're going to call a foul. Blocking foul is going to be on Isaac Boyd, and that's going to be his first foul on the night. As Petra will be inbounding the ball. Does so to Russo. Russo guarded by Underwood. Russo trying to work his way up. But, I mean, the Falcons have done a great job of just staying in front of defenders, and that is one thing which you've been commenting on all season long, Brandon, is the defense of this Falcons team constantly improving almost instantly game to game.
They've had it since the first tip of the season. It's something that they've mastered and seem to have down pat, and that's a travel for Canfield as well.
Another turnover for the Cardinals. Falcons getting the ball back and holding on to their slim 2-point lead, 3:40 left in the first half of play. But, I mean, interestingly enough, Simon's not playing a whole lot of minutes in this first half. Kind of interesting because he's been primarily playing a bunch of minutes over the last few games. As a three-pointer up by Evans, no good. Fight for the rebound, and that's going to be a push likely on Boyd. They're going to call it on Boyd. Picks up 2 quick fouls now in this quarter. As Simons checks in for Boyd. And, I mean, you just kind of see it, too, Brandon. I mean, when Simons is on and off the floor, how differently the team almost plays naturally and how much the ball kind of goes through Simons when offensively or defensively when he's on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, the spacing he provides on the floor kind of down low as he usually plays, being the biggest player on the court. And then just his offensive abilities. I mean, he seems to really carry the Falcons' offense, absolutely.
As Evans has it at the logo, getting it inside to Leskavac, now back outside. Three-pointer from Vaughn. Could not get it to sink, but a great extension on that vertical from Leskavac, trying to go up and get that ball, but they're going to call a foul. That is going to be on number 32, Schneider, for the Cardinals. Simons getting it into Leskavac, now out to Underwood. Underwood inside to Simons, trying to work his way in, now just extends over. Could not get that shot to fall. That is one shot where he's been struggling tonight, Brandon. That mid-range shot, that's usually his bread and butter. And they're going to call a jump ball. Falcons get it back.
Great hustle by Simons there. Talk about the intangibles, great play.
But also, interestingly enough, I mean, they've held Simons to just 8 so far in this first half. Allen Underwood has yet to score a bucket, but we saw that too in Mooney, where he does come away big and late in games.
Right, he does seem to find his buckets late, and you know they're very situational sometimes.
Simons grabbing his own offensive rebound, tries to put it up, no good, but will get the foul. And I mean, that's the one guy. I mean, out of all the guys there, Simons is the one guy you're okay with just keep on taking shots because I mean you feel he's eventually going to shoot his way out of it.
Absolutely. I mean, if history says itself, I mean he has over 1,000 points in high school in this high school's gymnasium. I mean. You have to give it up to him. He has an offensive ability you got to keep going towards. I mean, that mid-ranger,
as Simons able to get that first free throw up and then give Falcons a 1-point lead and 9 on the night for Simons. Checking out was Deshaun Vaughn. Michael Palmer checking in. As Simons now gearing up for his second of 2 free throws, able to make both of them. 10 on the night for Simons. And I mean, this is one team where we said too before, where Falcons have that height advantage on. But this is where Coach Beanie said, you think you'd be able to have that advantage on the boards, but then you got to worry about the quickness, and you got to be quick on your feet defending them, because you got to be worried about if they can get by you or not. As the ball goes out of bounds yet again, Falcons get it back. 2:15 left in the first half of play. As Dan Evans bringing the ball up, but this is definitely not what the Falcons wanted to see. I mean, you wanted to jump them quick and early, but I mean, Canfield's been doing a great job of just sticking around. Getting it to Underwood, now to the corner. Palmer looking for the cutting Simons. Simons has it, backs her up, turn around, jumper up and in from a sideways position. Todd Simons able to find the bottom. 12 on the night for Simons. Bringing it up now, that is Russo. Russo stopped by Leskovac, cross-court pass. Marinelli now to Dye. Dye uncorks it from 3, no good. Rebounded by Simons. Simons now running in transition, trying to go coast to coast with it. Goes up, he would have put it in. Let's see what they're calling it on the floor. And they're gonna call that foul on Russo. Russo got him before the shot, but being in the bonus, I believe like the Falcons are. Let's see. Yes, it's gonna be a 1-and-1 opportunity for the Falcons as they are now in the bonus. As, I mean, they didn't want to take any chances with Simons driving there coast to coast. He's way too good on that transition game, and we've seen him do it in this game alone, Brandon, being able to weave in and out and through defenders.
Way too crafty of a ball handler and a finisher to let him get good looks at the basket and let him run in transition.
As Simons makes 1 of 2, but Leskovac gets the rebound, puts it up and puts it in. And the rebounding of just the smaller guys on the Falcons team. I mean, you look at guys like Nate Leskovac, not a guy you can think would grab a lot of offensive rebounds, but with the type of vertical that he has, and I mean, we've seen him in football, we see him in a multitude of sports. He's just one of the best athletes here in Fitch.
Right, I mean, he just battles down low. Like you said, Ty, using his athleticism to his advantage.
As the Falcons now holding on to a 7-point advantage. Minute 23 left in the first half. As Dye with the ball. Sean Vaughn trying to guard him. Screen set by Gerdick. And they're going to call a foul. Simons is going to pick up a foul. That's going to be his first foul. As the team now picks up their 7th foul. And it's going to send Dye to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Trey Dye with 6 on the night. Like we said, averages just under 18 per game. He's another one of those players that has that, when he has that hot hand, you go to him. He's a very streaky player. He can go up and he can go down. 24-point season high for him on the year. Simons gets the rebound on the second shot attempt by Gerdick. Simons now trying to wave his way inside. Now has to go out to Leskovac. Leskovac did not find a seam, goes back to Simons, and Dye is guarding him. And this is the matchup you want to see between Dye and Simons. Inside pass, though, to Leskovac. Could not finish it at the rim. Rebounded by Canfield. Dye with the ball. 50 seconds left in the first half. Kicking it out to the wing. That is McElroy. Now out, Marinelli out to Dye. Covering him is Deshaun Vaughn. Dye tries to spin his way inside, finds a seam. Could not finish it at the rim. Deshaun Vaughn running in transition, able to get by Gerdick. Vaughn stops at the wing, kicks it out to Simons. 30 seconds left on the clock. Simons calling the play on the court, calling for Palmer, and just going to kind of wait it out to Palmer. And this is what we kind of saw towards the end with that Mooney game of just burning clock, waiting for that last shot of the half. Palmer to Dan Evans, 13 seconds left on the clock. Evans, 10 seconds and ticking. Working his way to the wing, tries to go inside to Simons, stolen away, and keeping it is Gerdick. Gerdick gets it to Lowry. Lowry at the half-court line, getting it into Marinelli. Marinelli shot up, could not finish it. Shot does not count, and that'll do it for the first half. 28-21, Falcons leading it. Very low-scoring affair from what we've been used to seeing from the Falcons lately, Brandon.
Absolutely. I mean, give credit to the Canfield defense, staying on top of them, not allowing Simons to get going early in this game, not allowing Underwood to get going either. I mean, great play on their side of the ball.
It'll be interesting to see. Simons has 13 on the night. Trey Dye has 6 on the night. Those are your 2 biggest scorers from each team. We're going to see if they're going to have a little back and forth action here with Canfield down by 7. Fitch hold on to the lead and get their 3rd win in a row, or Canfield be able to right the ship after snapping that 3-game losing streak with that win against Louisville. Are they able to get a 2nd win in a row and kind of get themselves back on track for the season? We, of course, will have that whole second half action and more here live on ysnlive.com.
21 News.
Let's get right to our top story tonight.
More experienced reporters.
A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
Telling more local stories.
We'll look at efforts
Boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
Around our valley.
Community in Niles.
We are here in Youngstown, right up.
Because you expect
Important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County
before
Court.
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Call today.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
I went to Greenwood Chevrolet because I was really interested in looking at the tracks.
Because I wanted my dream truck.
Because I've been going there for 20 years. I think whenever we go there, whatever car we're looking for, they have tremendous inventory.
If you're looking for people who care about you, Greenwood is the place to go.
You know, it's like family there. The girls know me in service. It's Miss Kim in the Tahoe.
I'm really happy that I went to
Greenwood Chevrolet.
Because they really went
the extra mile for me.
Now we're going the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
WRS Wealth Advisors, the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Located on South Avenue in Boardman.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa. And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
When looking for home design inspiration, don't just be inspired, be Baird inspired. Whether new or remodeling, Baird Brothers has the latest trends like shiplap to refresh your home. Go from inspiration to installation with our wide selection of in-stock American hardwoods. From the rustic charm of antique oak to the warmth of traditional cherry, Baird Brothers has what you need to make your home inspiring. Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
This is Jim Myers with Myers Family Insurance, your local Medicare and retirement resource. We're excited to have sports back. Whether you're on the field or cheering from the stands, sports unifies communities and brings hope for the future. We're all one team working together. At Myers Family Insurance, we know the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is October 15th through December 7th. Now's the time to make sure your plan continues to meet your needs for the upcoming year.
Friday night, in this fresh limousine. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, like I'm living the dream. Platform shoes, strut down the street. It's gonna get hot in here, I hope you can handle the heat.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-res futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Rain will come and go tomorrow. There'll be some dry intervals.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Tri-State Ford announces the Built for the Holiday sales event. Get America's best price on F-150 and great deals on our entire Ford lineup. Choose from Escape, Edge, Explorer, and Expedition and get $2,000 trade assist cash, plus 0% financing, plus no payment for 90 days on all new 2021 Ford models, plus a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. Now that's the Tri-State Ford advantage.
Customer focus, community driven. Visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back as we get you ready for second half action. Ty Bartel alongside Brandon Colangelo with the call. And that first half, Brandon, what we saw, one of the lowest scoring halves I've seen from Fitch all season long, and it's just been great play defensively from both teams.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of defense right now. Both teams coming out full force. The Falcons trying to keep the gas on right now, up 7, 28-21. I mean, you want to see them kind of keep the offense going, because they've really had it flowing this year. Just you haven't seen great looks from Simons or Underwood, but they've had offense, with the lead here. You just need, Canfield, that is on the other end. You need to pick up the shots. You need to start making your open looks right now, because they've had good ball security up till now also.
As Canfield will be inbounding the ball to start the second half. Marinelli will have that as Dye gets the ball with Evans guarding him now. Dye gets it to Marinelli, now out to Lowry. Lowry in the corner, now out to Dye. Simons picks up Dye again. That's been the matchup that they've been trying to go to. They want Simons, it looks like, to primarily guard Dye. I mean, you just want the best on the best there in that situation.
Exactly, just putting personnel on personnel, trying to calm the shooters.
as now Dan Evans will be bringing it up. And, I mean, you really haven't seen it, too. The Falcons are kind of playing into what I would feel Canfield's tempo is. They want Canfield's tempo to be. I mean, because the Falcons not at all really working very quickly in that first half. Underwood, though, finally does get it on the board in an array of wizardry around the basket. Underwood, deep hook on that layup. And that is the type of ability he has, folks. And, I mean, he can uncork it at any leg. But, I mean, immediately responding is Canfield. As Lowry was able to get that bucket up and in. Simons getting it. Evans now uncorking it from 3. No good. Last touch. No, they keep it inbounds. As Dye was able to recover it. Dye tries to go all the way with it. Knocked out of his hands. Getting it to Pantelakis. Now out to Marinelli. Marinelli looks like he held the ball. No call on it. Escobar gets it. Now out to Pantelakis. Corner 3 from Dye. No good. Rebounded, though, from Lowry. Second shot up and in. High off the glass. Hitting the ground hard is Roth, and he is holding that elbow, and it looks like he smacked that elbow hard off the ground. Coach Beanie coming over to see what's going on with him as he's in the paint. And, I mean, that is one loss you can't really afford to have. That is your basically scapegoat for all the inside dirty work, the boards, the shots. I mean, that is the guy you kind of turn to.
Yeah, exactly right, Tyler. Your scrappiest player on the floor, and you're gonna hate to see him go down right now. Hopefully, it's just a little stinger, and he can get back up. But it'd be a sad loss.
Did not see what actually happened on that on the injury. If he hit the ground hard or what transpired before he was on the ground, because it looked like, I mean, that was right after we saw Dye attempt the 3, and we saw the rebound from Canfield, and it was sometime after that. I'm not sure what initially happened to Joe Roth, but as they're going to treat Joe Roth, we're going to take a real quick timeout here on ysnlive.com. As we return back, it looked like Joe Roth was able to walk off under his own power. It looked like that was on the left arm, his injury. He was kind of coddling it, catering to it. Not sure. It looks like his status will be questionable if he'll return. I would say it's probably doubtful going forward. Looked like he took a hard hit. Doesn't look like he could really raise that arm, so we obviously hope for Joe Roth's best of health and hope everything works out. But Cam Smith coming in and saying, I got your back, puts it up, puts it in. Deep layup from Smith, getting the Falcons back up by 7. Trey Dye getting it out to Lowry. Lowry on the wing now to the corner. 3-point shot up for Marinelli, no good. Rebounded Underwood. Underwood able to get through the coverage, now gets it to Leskovac. Leskovac on the wing, now Simons. Quick shot, puts it up, no good. Trying to go for the rebound is Underwood. Getting it to Leskovac, immediately gets it up and in. Leskovac always so aware. I mean, that's the wide receiver in him. Is just always aware of where the ball is and goes for it, gets it, puts it up, puts it in. 9-point lead for the Falcons. As Dye with the ball, getting it to the corner. Marinelli. Underwood playing good defense on Marinelli. Has to kick it to the corner. That's where Dye is. Dye gets trapped on baseline. Had to go off of the foot of Underwood just to even keep possession. But, I mean, they've been doing a great job of locking down Dye on the other end as well.
Absolutely. I mean, the Falcons are on it on defense, really ball hawking, really staying with the double teams, forcing the ball handlers into traps. And they're just looking for turnovers right now.
As they get it out to Marinelli now with the ball. Marinelli works his way inside. Beautiful move by Marinelli. Just couldn't finish it. Getting the rebound is Escobar, but kicking it out. Simons tried saving it, hitting the table hard, and they're going to call it back to the Cardinals. Coach Beanie wanting a push on that too, and it does look like Simons was pushed out of bounds, but nonetheless, Canfield does keep the ball back. Inbounding it for them is Petro. Petro getting it in to Dye. Playing up on him is Smith. Dye now trying to drive to his right, kicking it out. McElroy from 3, no good. Rebounded by Leskovac. 5:15 left of the third. Simons has the ball. Simons working his way to the left, stops, spin around Jay, up, no good, short on that shot. getting it out of bounds, though. Hitting it out of bounds. They're going to call it Canfield's way. It looked like Coach Beanie was...
Everyone with a little ooh.
Yeah.
Not expecting it.
Almost looked like Coach Beanie was kind of politicking for it to go the Falcons' way. But they ultimately do call it the Cardinals' ball as Dye now with the ball. They've been putting Smith on Dye a lot. Smith doing a great job of staying in front of him, but the foul is called on Smith with that one. They're going to call it a block, and they're going to sub out Smith for Isaac Boyd. But, I mean, it's just been a great defensive game all around. Not really one singular player has been able to really get out. I mean, Simons is the ultimate scorer for both teams, 13 points on the night. But, I mean, Simons having to take a lot of shots to even get that kind of average. And, I mean, the three-point shooting of Canfield, that is usually one of their strong suits, Falcons have done a great job of holding them on that.
Absolutely, and they haven't let them get any clean looks, not many at all at least tonight. But pivoting there, I mean, Nate Leskovac with that board, and the defender gets called for the over the back, but he just still grabs the board anyway. It doesn't even matter. Steps right in for Roth. Great position play.
Evans turned on the Jets, could not finish it though, but there you go again, Leskovac with the offensive board. Underwood trying to work his way up and in, and that just beautiful move, so quick on his feet is Underwood, and I mean, that's just, you know, muscle memory of just moving his feet. He just is so athletic and just has so much elusiveness down low, Brandon. We just saw able to just weave in and out of defenders, and he finds that one single seam of an open look, and he's able to take advantage on it.
Yeah, he has a great finishing ability down low, just slinks in there between the defenders and lays it up. You're going to need him to keep it up.
McElroy keeping his dribble, working his way to the wing. Underwood is on him all the way, losing the ball, goes out of bounds. Canfield keeps it, but he ran right into that trap between both Underwood and Leskovac, who was able to double team him there going down the lane and lost the ball on it. Inbounding the ball now is Petro. Petro was able to work it inside. They're going to call, looks like a foul. It's going to be on Leskovac, reaching in. That was on Lowry. 4:16 though left in this third quarter of play. Falcons up by 11 in a very low-scoring affair between these teams. There's a three-pointer up, no good. Rebounded by Boyd. Boyd working it up court now. Boyd kicks it to Leskovac. Leskovac driving baseline, puts it up and in, and this has really been a game for Leskovac. 7 on the night. Timeout for Canfield, but Leskovac really, he's been kind of quiet. Had a kind of slower start to the season so far. I mean, still was the defensive presence that he was, and still just an all-around athlete, just a guy you want to keep on the court. But when he could start putting up point totals, you know, 7 points coming off the bench, that's pretty big for someone like Nate Leskovac.
Absolutely, and when you have a player like Roth go down like that, he's exactly a fill-in player for him. Scrappy defender. He goes up and gets boards. Great positioning, great awareness, just a lot of intangibles for him. Great athlete also, like you stated.
And getting a 13-point lead now for the Falcons with 4:05 left in the third. That bucket from Leskovac is big because, I mean, when you start conference play, it's always good to start out on the right foot and get into a 1-0 start for conference play.
Absolutely. Get one up on the other team. You always want to start up in the season series.
And, I mean, what we talked about, too, I mean, both teams, similar records, and we talked about it. You kind of throw records out when it comes to conference play, and that's what Coach Beanie said. He said, right now, as far as I'm concerned, we're both 0-0 going into this game. This is the first game of the season because this is when conference play starts. This is when it starts to really matter now once you start playing your conference. I mean, you got Canfield, then you got Boardman, and, I mean, it's going to be back-to-back really big conference play games for the Falcons right now. So this is really good for them to try to get off on the right foot. As we see now, bringing it up is Petro. Petro getting into that press defense that the Falcons are trying to utilize off the hand of Leskovac. And this is what we've been seeing with the Falcons, too. They've done a really good job of just cutting off those passing lanes a lot, and we see it again there, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, they call the tip on the Falcons side. Stays with the Cardinals.
But, I mean, the Falcons do an incredible job of just cutting off all passing lanes, and, I mean, they just know where they need to be. And, I mean, they're just able, with the vertical ability and just the speed of the Falcons, able to just cut it off and just get tips. And, I mean, talk to me about when you're an offense. I mean, you could talk on Canfield's side right now, but, I mean, just all offenses, when you're trying to come into a game, if you really have trouble trying to pass the ball and get the ball around the horn, how much more difficult does that be trying to getting open shots?
Exactly. I mean, you can't hit your open shooters if there are any. I mean, if they cut off the passing lanes like that, and we've seen it happen to this Falcons team, it's a great lay-in with the extension.
Unbelievable shot by Allen Underwood, and this is what we talked about, folks. He's just able to turn it up. I mean, you can hold him for only so long, but you can't completely contain him. 6 points now for Underwood in just this quarter. Cardinals will keep possession as it goes out of bounds, but just like that, it's a 15-point lead for the Falcons. And I mean, we call it wizardry for Underwood because, I mean, it is underneath the basket. He has probably, I mean, you could look at Simons, but Underwood may be the most elusive player down low as far as just avoiding contact entirely.
Absolutely. I mean, he uses those long arms to his advantage. We've seen him use those up and unders. He can do the curls. He can do all kinds of different things.
As a three-point shot missing from Dye and a traveling violation down low. Dancing in the paint from Isaac Boyd goes back to the Canfield Cardinals. But this is a Cardinals team, too. They've had their up and down moments, but they've rival Poland, too. They've played 2 games with Poland already. They were leading in the fourth quarter in both those games and weren't able to close it out. This has been one area of the game where the Canfield Cardinals have had trouble as they finally correct their three-point shooting woes and were able to get a three-pointer up on the board, cutting the lead for the Falcons to 12. But the Falcons right now doing a great job of not even letting them have the lead right now and just building on the lead they've already had. And getting it to Leskovac driving baseline. Up and in for Leskovac through the contact. Did not matter. Leskovac with 9 on the night. That was a tip ball. Able to keep the dribble was Trey Dye. Able to go up and in. We'll see. The shot will not count. They're going to call it sideline out. As Deshaun Vaughn got it before the shot attempt. Vaughn will check out. Palmer will check in. But in both these teams, we've alluded to it earlier, Brandon, very similar in the fact that they use a lot of players and utilize a lot of just talent. I mean, both benches are about 9-10 guys deep. And we see it with Coach Beanie. I mean, he keeps these guys all out of foul trouble, too. He sees them go up 2 fouls. All right, we just have another guy in. And it's a great benefit to just have so many guys that can really do the same thing on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, Coach Beanie has kept his substitutions running like clockwork. And he likes to see his team run like that, too, Ty. I mean, wants to see the clean plays out there, always going hard and effective.
They call that foul on Leskovac on the arm, his second foul. And inbounding it will be Pantelakis. Pantelakis kicking it out to Muckleroy. As I mean, we talk about it too, the perimeter game, they're forcing them out and forcing them to take threes. Problem is, Canfield just having trouble making threes, but that was a great shot all around from Trey Dye. 8 on the night for Dye, and I mean, just able to throw up a heave and find the bottom of the net. Great shot from Dye. As Simons working his way to the mid-range, losing the ball and trying to save it, and that's going to be a foul called. I think they're going to call it on Simons. Yes, they are. That's going to be Simons' second foul. Goes back to the Cardinals. 1:45 left in the third. As the Cardinals look to inbound, they get it in to Dye. Trey Dye bringing it up. Getting it to the wing. And, I mean, they've been trying to back down and get those inside shots as a 3 from Muckleroy. Could not get the bounce in. Rebounded by Leskovac through all the trees there. Did not matter. Simons on the cut, up and in. Todd Simons, ever so aware of where the basket is and where he needs to be on those transition games. Able to find him, and they get it up. He has 15 on the night and a 14-point lead for the Falcons. Getting it to the corner. Muckleroy again from mid-range, missing that shot. Getting the rebound are the Cardinals. Trying to kick it out, back out to Muckleroy. Muckleroy could not save it, goes out of bounds. Falcons get it back. And this Cardinals offense is just kind of playing type of stagnantly right now, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, it's credit to Fitch. I mean, they're getting them flustered right now, just crowding the passing lanes, crowding the shooters, just getting up in the face of your man and not letting them get any kind of cohesion running on offense.
There's a full timeout for the Falcons right now, Coach Beanie. Pretty good time to take a timeout right now. You're up by 14. You want to kind of put your foot on the gas, and you can really have a chance to end this game right now.
Right. I mean, really punch the win in a second. I mean, you got a minute left in this quarter, and then, I mean, it could be the doors blown off this one here.
And I mean, this is a Fitch team that we've seen really make the right adjustments throughout the season. I mean, we saw them early on. They went through those struggles when, they faced the Struthers and the Hubbards early on, and it was, you had some issues where, some players couldn't play at some points, and, you really couldn't have the full roster. And there was a bunch of new guys that really never played together before in live game action. And you could see the rookie experience from some of these guys, and just the chemistry wasn't there. But, I mean, what we've seen, too, from, that game against Marlington where they finally got their first win to now, they've won 3 of their last 4. And this really has been a different Falcons team all around, Brandon.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been on a great momentum swing here, and I mean, I think that it's just been all improving on what they've had this season. I mean, they've really seemed to have their offense here going. I mean, great flow, a lot of off-ball movement, great laying abilities from around the floor.
Isaac Boyd, another guy that's really been showing up as another scoring threat for them, and I mean, they found, it looks like, you got Simons. Todd is Todd for you, and I mean, that's what Coach Beaton will always tell you as far as scoring options go. Todd is Todd. He's going to get you the points that he usually averages. But, I mean, Underwood is coming up as your second scoring option. We saw Roth. Hopefully everything's okay with Roth, but Roth has kind of been almost that third scoring option, but it's been between, him. You see Cam Smith coming in, and Boyd's been coming in with solid points. But, I mean,
tonight it was Leskovac.
Yeah, tonight it's Leskovac. This is a team where everyone has the ability to step up, and it's almost somebody new that steps up as that third option every single night. And it really helps, too, that all these guys have the ability to score the ball at, high rates. As Simons cuts it off entirely, getting it off of Dye. Simons getting it into Leskovac. Leskovac trying to get it up, gets fouled, and will go to the line for 2. Chance to get double digits on the night for Leskovac, as he has 9 on the night. 14.6 left on the clock in this third quarter. Falcons up by 16. Like you said, Brandon, it's always someone that different that steps up, and like you said tonight, Nate Leskovac stepping up has a chance to get into the double digits and scoring column now. But, I mean, talk to me, too, Brandon. I mean, we've talked with Coach Beanie a few times about it. I mean, just having this many guys just on the team and, I mean, utilizing 10 people. Not many coaches do it. Not many coaches want to go a 10-deep bench because you don't want to sacrifice those minutes from those other guys. But, I mean, you got to figure it's a luxury. If one guy's not doing so well, you could take one guy out and almost expect production from another guy somewhere else.
Exactly. I mean, if you have trusted players there on the bench, why not use them? I mean, they're obviously gifted. If they're getting the minutes, let them have it. Go out and play.
As a foul, they're going to call that foul on Marinelli. 0.02 left, so it's just going to be an inbound and go into the fourth quarter. But the Falcons, nonetheless, leading by 17. And, I mean, the Falcons can just hold out this one. This would be another huge win for them, and they're battling back, trying to get back to 500 on the season. And, of course, we will have that fourth quarter, final 8 minutes to go. And it looks like, though, Joe Roth is checking back in. Looks like everything cleared. So good to see that, nothing too bad happened with him. Just probably a little just elbow bruise, something like that. I mean, it looks like that's what he was holding when he went down hard. But, I mean, nonetheless, we will have that final 8 minutes to go here live on ysnlive.com.
Right now is a great time to get more for your trade-in at Tri-State Ford and drive home in a new or pre-owned vehicle. Choose from our great selection of new Ford models or pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get the Tri-State Ford Advantage, including a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty and more. At Tri-State Ford, we'll pay you top dollar for your trade, but you don't have to purchase one of ours to sell us yours.
Customer focus, community driven. Tri-State Ford East Liverpool or visit tristateford.net.
Welcome back in as we get ready for the fourth and final quarter of action here between the Canfield Cardinals and the Austintown Fitch Falcons. And like we said, Joe Roth has checked back in. He's in the game as well as Deshaun Vaughn also checking in. Dan Evans also coming in, and Alan Underwood is also on the floor. Group substitution. It always seems like the Falcons, they'll go those 4 in and 4 out where Simons is just the centerpiece and everything kind of revolves around Simons. But it's really been impressive how these guys have all been able to really just learn how to play with Simons. And that's what one thing Coach Beanie says is that Simons is one of those guys that he knows how to play the game of basketball, and you have to learn to kind of play around him. And great spin move there, putting that shot up and in, and again cutting the Falcons' lead to just 15, as the Canfield Cardinals are not a team that's going to go away easily.
No, and you're going to see them try to bounce back on this deficit right now, just fighting inside and getting those open looks books once you can clear them up from your driving.
As Evans gets it into Simon, try to go shot up. That was blocked, but there you go. Joe Roth immediately coming
right back at it,
making an impact. Those offensive boards and just having that innate ability of just getting the board and finding the bottom of the net right off of the offensive board. Trying to cut off that pass, but stopping it. No, he doesn't. Looks like he was going to. He was right in the face, but that was just better offense there by Gerdick.
Well, he had Roth on his side, and then Roth tried to get back in front of his man, but he already had him.
The way the ball bounced out of Gerdick's hands, it almost looked like if Roth had a fingertip on it, but not.
He may have.
Not the case, as Gerdick was able to finish it, but Simons could not finish that bucket. Rare miss for Simons, right at the bucket.
And that's just a mulligan there.
Yeah, he laughs it off, throws his hands up in the air, and says, "What are you gonna do?"
You miss some shots. It's gonna happen. You just got to take it in the next possession.
As Marinelli will be inbounding, 6:42 to go. Cardinals have cut the Falcons' lead to 15. Bringing it up is Dye. Evans is guarding. Trey Dye working his way to the wing. Simons picks him up. Dye driving baseline, now has to kick it out. Trying to drive inside now again are the Cardinals. Could not finish it. Kicking it out of bounds. Goes back to the Falcons. And, I mean, we talked about that big win against Mooney, Brandon. I mean, it was an 8-1 team coming in, and the Falcons were able to pull off the upset and really get their third win on the season. How does a win like that really propel a team going forward? And, I mean, it's got to have some sort of momentum boost or some sort of confidence boost going forward in the season.
Absolutely, Ty. I mean, a big overtime win against a foe like Mooney. I mean, you have to give the props to them. I mean, they battled the entire contest, even battled when Mooney found the momentum, like we stated previous, as a lay-in for Canfield. But, I mean, you have to use it as a springboard going forward, especially with all the good things that happened in the game for you.
As Pantelakis was able to make it on the opposite end, cut it to a 13-point lead. But Trey Dye gets his first foul. And 4 team fouls now for the Cardinals in this half. Simons getting it into Evans. Evans out to Underwood. Underwood back to Evans. Evans finds the corner where Simons is. Simons back to the top where Evans is. Evans trying to work his way inside. Now Underwood uncorks it from 3. Could not find it. And that's one shot where Underwood really needs a little bit of work on that. Those deep 3-point shots. And, I mean, if that's one thing he has in his arsenal, if he can get that kind of shot in his arsenal, he becomes a really all-around player and an all-around scoring threat then.
Exactly. If he can stick the 3 ball from there when they kick it out, I mean, that's just going to bring so much more to his game going forward and really make him a threat.
As Gerdick going to the line for a 1-on-1 opportunity and a chance to cut this Falcons lead to 11. And like we said, Cardinals are not a team that's just going to go away. You're going to have to battle them to the end and put them away. As Gerdick making his first free throw, will have a shot at the second one. Nate Leskovac has checked in for the Falcons. And this is kind of what you would love for Coach Beanie, having both Roth and Leskovac. If they're both going, I mean, these are your 2 most scrappy players on the floor. And, I mean, this is where almost you couldn't get a rebound advantage, even with shorter guys on the floor.
I was about to say, I mean, if I'm Coach Beanie, I'm expecting nothing but offensive rebounds in this kind of set.
As Evans getting it to Simons now. Simons back to Evans. I mean, the Falcons looking like they want to burn at least a little bit of clock with each possession, but it's one thing where you want to be aggressive, but you can't be too stagnant on offense. As another steal for Canfield trying to get it, but there you go, the ever so quick hands of Leskovac. Underwood to Simons. Simons jams it down!
Yes, sir, we've seen it. Let him know.
With the jam, he's been trying all season long, hasn't really uncorked it, but right there, you want to pump up a team, Simons.
He was upset at that missed layup, Ty. He wanted to make sure it went down that time.
after the missed layup, he knew he had to do something to pump up the crowd, pump up the team. He said, well, I got to make this next shot extra spectacular. And what does he do? Able to jam it down. Simons with the dunk. Getting it back up. But, I mean, here comes Canfield right back. Chance to cut it right back down to 11. And, I mean, those kind of things, they're going to boost your team as far as energy is concerned, but you got to be able to keep it going forward because, I mean, this is a Canfield team. They're hungry right now. They want to go after this win. They could smell it. It's only 11 right now. And, I mean, the way they're playing, their defense, that's going to be kind of the backbone of what's going to need to lead this comeback for them.
Absolutely. Going to look for their D to propel them right now. And they've been getting steals. You just need to convert or get fouled and go to the line.
Getting it to Underwood in the corner. Underwood out to Evans. Evans to Simons. Simons out to Underwood. Underwood from mid-range, up and in. And there you go again. I mean, Simons, like you said, Brandon, he opens up the floor so much and he just distracts so many players, able to find the open Underwood right on the baseline. Working it inside now, Lowry getting double covered. Lowry has to throw up a shot. Beautiful shot by Lowry with the coverage in his face. Cutting it back down to 11. Evans bringing it back up. And, I mean, Simons is just like one of those on-court coaches. You always look to him, and if you look to him off ball, always pointing him where he wants his players to be, always kind of calling plays on the floor. And it's one, he knows the offensive playbook. He knows where everyone else is supposed to be as well as himself. And it really helps having that type of on-court coach on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, a true floor general. He directs traffic, he passes, distributes, does it all, and goes the other way there.
They're going to call that an and one opportunity there for Dye. Dye now a chance to cut this to an 8-point lead, and you better look out now because this is a chance where the Cardinals can really come back in this one. Boyd checks in, Roth checks out. Dye with 12 on the night, chance to extend his point total to 13. And he's a guy where we said 17.9 points per. He's a type of guy where, I mean, if you're not careful, he could go loose on you. As Boyd tries to save it, stays with the Cardinals and gives them an extra possession. And these are the type of mistakes you cannot afford to make right now, Brandon.
Right, and it just comes from the hustle of the Cardinals right now. Just been hustling ever since they lost the lead. You're going to need it here against this Falcons team that's been firing on all cylinders.
We've also seen, too, the Falcons have lost leads, too, in the fourth. As that three-pointer up, rebounded. Simons has it. Simon trying to run it. Just kicks it out to Nate Leskovac on a heave. And it's going to be, it looks like a foul is called, trying to just stop the transitional bucket, make him earn it at the line. And that is Trey Dye's second foul. And it will get the ball side out right now for the Falcons, not in the bonus yet. But that is the key. The Cardinals are in the double bonus, so, I mean, maybe earning the points at the line is what the Cardinals are going to have to look to do, at least to stop the clock. As we see Leskovac have the ball, gets it out to Evans. Now Evans getting it to the corner. Underwood in the trap, and it looks like a timeout was called, and they do give him the timeout there. As Underwood was trapped in the corner. You did hear Coach Beaton call the timeout. They whistled it, and it will keep possession with the Falcons. I mean, you see much of the dismay of the Cardinals here, coaching staff and players, but I mean, I don't know. You did hear Coach Beanie yell for the timeout. I don't know, did that happen before or after Underwood lost the ball? That's kind of the question to be had. I didn't see it from here if Underwood had the ball.
I didn't get a great look at it either, and but
that's a huge swing of the game. 3:44 left in this fourth quarter, Brandon, and I mean, losing the ball as we're going to get the word from the officials.
No timeout. It's going to be red ball on a jump ball situation. Okay?
They're going to call red ball on a jump ball situation.
There's no timeout. Jump ball situation.
But then again, I mean, alternating possessions. Next jump ball will send it back to the Falcons too, so that's an important reminder going forward. But I think that in that situation, they probably got the call right. Because, I mean, they did blow the whistle after the steal. I mean, we did hear Coach Beanie yell for it early, but, I mean, when in the official situation, you can't blow it after a steal's already been occurred. So I think they got the call right on that. Trey Dye trying to get it out to Pantelakis, now to Lowry. Lowry trying to work his way inside, throws up a shot. Beautiful shot by Lowry. That hook shot is unbelievable right now from him. 7-point lead now for the Falcons. Canfield threatening to come back. Falcons really needing some sort of offense. Underwood has it, works his way inside, losing the dribble, going out to Boyd, losing it again. Here comes Pantelakis. Pantelakis tries to go inside, losing the ball. It goes back to the Falcons. Offensive foul is called, and they're going to call that one on Pantelakis. This is where, I mean, you see Coach Beanie not even afraid. Subs in Cam Smith, subs out Isaac Boyd. When he needs offense, he's not afraid to use all the pieces that he has that are able to score and just use them in a rotation.
Absolutely. He's just not, like you said, Ty, not afraid to use his personnel, always switching around Simons. And if one player is going cold, he can just find the next man up.
As Evans now, 7-point lead for the Falcons. Underwood gets it to Simons. Extra pass to Smith. Tries to go shot up, and the foul will send Smith to the line. And I mean, just great awareness on passing. And, I mean, that was just a great pass around the horn. I mean, so distracted by Simons. You saw two guys run him. If there's two guys on me, there's someone open somewhere. Is where Simons, I mean, deductive reasoning will tell you that.
Exactly.
Finds Cam Smith under the bucket and gets the foul. Going to the line now, 4-2 is Cam Smith. And 2 big free throws, I might add, under 3 minutes, 2:50 on the game. And, I mean, just missing that first free throw, wide right, bounces off the iron. And these are shots you need to make going forward if you're the Falcons.
Absolutely. You need to zone in right now and make these free throws because it could come back to bite you in the butt. Been trending down right now. Motivation's not in the favor of the Falcons, I would say.
Making the second free throw and getting an extra point up on there. That's 8-point lead for the Falcons, and this is one where the Falcons, you really need to try to come back on this one. And a beautiful steal. Underwood able to keep it. Underwood now with the ball, and you got to look to burn as much clock as you can, and I think that's what they're going to try to do. 2:40 and ticking. Underwood trying to get off of his defender. Underwood now kicking it out to Leskovac. Leskovac going to Simons. Simons with Lowry on him. Simons now driving to his left, and there's going to be a foul. And, I mean, he just uses every part of his body, and that's going to get a foul on Lowry. And he's just, I mean, at the way that Simons is able to move, that puts them in the single bonus. Simons now going to the line for a 1-and-1. But, I mean, he moves everything, and every movement means something with Simons when he drives.
Exactly. He forces you to pay attention to him on the floor and really stick to him. Draws 2 defenders, and you could just find the open man if you're savvy enough with the balls. They get the rebound.
And, I mean, there you go again. Nate Leskovac with a huge offensive rebound. Here comes Underwood inside. Leskovac finds that open shot, gets fouled on the shot, will go to the line, 4-2. And, I mean, Nate Leskovac, what a player he's been in this game alone. I mean, just offensive boards, but, I mean, also on the point totals. 10 points on the night, going to the line for 2 more. He's been really the missing piece that the Falcons really needed tonight.
Right, he's really showed his stuff tonight, stepping into his position and really performing tonight on the boards and on the offensive end.
As the Cardinals take a 30-second timeout, Falcons have a chance to get this back up to 10, and these are, again, huge free throws. Both teams now in the double bonus. But nonetheless, I mean, we see 17 points on the night for Simons. I mean, that's really right around what he's averaged throughout, his career here at Fitch. I mean, as of lately, this season alone, he's been averaging over 23. The last 4 games, I think he's been averaging just under 25, and he's really been on a tear. But like we said, conference play, you kind of know each other, and this is a Cardinals team. They've played this Falcons team a lot, and they've played Simons enough to know the kind of abilities he has. So you pick up some tricks. You know some ways to kind of slow those type of players down.
Absolutely, and we saw it out of the gate from Canfield, kind of slowing Simons down, not allowing him to get into the flow. But you see, I mean, he still grabs 17 points tonight, still gets his.
As that first free throw up and in, 11 on the night for Leskovac. As Leskovac trying to go 2 for 2 at the line, and more importantly, give the Falcons a 10-point lead, and he does. 2 clean free throws and a 10-point lead. 2:18 left in this game. And they're going to have to work quickly, or the Cardinals, to try to work their way back in this one. As Pantelakis gets it to Die working to the top of the key, now kicking it out. 3-point shot is up, no good. Rebounded Cam Smith. Cam Smith trying to dribble his way out of it, goes to Dan Evans. Dan Evans finds Underwood. Underwood looks for the pass, now backs out and gets it out to Simons. Under 2 minutes to go. Timeout. Coach Beanie calls it for the Falcons. Under 2 minutes, minute 54 left. Falcons leading it by 10. And he's going to call it for a...
That's an injury timeout. That's an injury timeout.
They're going to call... Well, did they say the injury timeout, or are they accounting for the last timeout for Roth?
They're counting. They're keeping track.
Okay, because, I mean, the clock did, of course, stop when Roth went down and there was the injury timeout. Because I think there was an issue there where they're saying there wasn't a full timeout.
I believe that's what the referee said, but they seem to have remedied it somehow. Kept the book straight.
They got it right. I mean, both coaches seem happy with it. This officiating crew's done a really good job too tonight, Brandon, of just remedying the situation, and we saw that too with giving Canfield the ball back in that jump ball scenario after the timeout was called. And I mean, they're doing a very good job of just keeping things fair and not trying to give one side any sort of advantage. And I mean, that's what you should do as an official, of course.
Exactly. Keep the balance of the game, fair and equal play.
As Underwood now Trying to dribble around defenders. He does so, gets it to Smith, but through the hands of Smith, goes out of bounds. As the Cardinals will get the ball back, minute 23, and I mean, this might be the biggest possession of the game right now for the Cardinals. If they're able to get a score up and in, they have a real good chance of coming back in this game. As Trey Dye on Simons, driving to his left, shot up, no good, and they're going to call a foul. Are they calling that a shooting foul on Dye, or are they calling it a foul on the rebound? Let's see.
It's a foul on Simons.
Todd Simons, kind of a late call, too, on that. But that brings it up to 4 fouls for Simons, and double bonus will send Trey Dye to the line. And this is probably the last thing you want to do if you're the Falcons, to send the Cardinals to the line and a chance to score with the clock stopped right now.
Exactly, giving them free points.
As Trey Dye, usually a pretty good free throw shooter, puts that one up and in. He has 13 on the game. I mean, just like you say, Todd Simons going to get his just as Trey Dye has. 13 on the game for Trey Dye. Make that 14 on the game, cutting it to an 8-point advantage for the Falcons. And this is right now the Falcons' game to lose, Brandon.
Absolutely, in full swing. Up is 8 right now. I mean, you have to keep it this lead. I mean,
off of the foot, though, and a turnover, inside shot, up and in. And you just see Coach Beanie frustrated. Full timeout by the Cardinals, and that cuts it to 6 as Gerdick able to put it in and hold everything right now. This game isn't over yet. And, I mean, that's a great steal and great finish by Gerdick, and he's been one, too, that's kind of been turning it up for them as of late. Just putting in solid point totals for the Cardinals. Another 8 tonight for him and for, Canfield coming back to within 6 after being down as much as 17 at one point in this game. I mean, just true fight determination from them, much like what we saw Fitch do against Mooney, Brandon.
Exactly. I mean, it's some of the same story you're seeing now. Just tough fight on defense, kind of keeping you in the game. We've seen it in the third and fourth quarter working, getting those turnovers, crowding the passing lane, really just crowding the Falcons, forcing them to turn the ball over or dribble the ball off their legs or something to get those turnovers. Or, just getting the ball also and putting it in the basket.
And what we've said, too, and we talked about it before, if Canfield was going to come back, it was going to be on the backbone of their defense. And, boy, the defense of the Cardinals really has brought them back within this game. 65 seconds left. Fitch needing to try to hold on any way they can. They need to get a good inbound pass here and really save possession. Almost lost it, though. Underwood able to save it. Underwood to Simons. Simons kicking it out to Smith and burning as much clock as they can. Smith now will go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity.
That foul's on Chase Lowry.
As Chase Lowry picks it up, his second foul.
Cam Smith to the line, shooting 2.
Or excuse me, double bonus. I forgot to mention too. I mean, with the double bonus, yeah, now they will be shooting 2 at the line, which is much different than 1-and-1. I mean, you get those 2 chances to make up points, and of course, with a miss there, that could have meant a whole different scenario right now for the Falcons and for the Cardinals. But I mean, these are still huge free throws you need to try to make at the line, Brandon.
Exactly. I mean, it takes it out of a 2-possession game potentially. You're going to need to make this to really seal it right now.
And that does. That makes it a 3-possession game, but still 57.8. Only taking 8 seconds off the clock were the Falcons. Cardinals now needing to work quick. Trey Dye with the ball. Trey Dye trying to kick it off of the fingertips. Almost lost it. Great save by the Cardinals. Kicking it out now. That is Lowry. Back out to Trey Dye. Shoots it from 3. Up and in. Are you kidding me? Timeout. Cutting it to 4 now. And I mean, this is a situation where the Falcons, you don't want to lose any type of momentum, and this is a game that would absolutely hurt to lose for the Falcons right now.
It would be a shame, especially when you've led a good portion of this basketball game tonight. But, I mean, talk about the range on that 3. I mean, he steps at least 2 steps behind the arc and nails it. I mean, it's great shooting has kept him in this game. That is the Cardinals.
And, I mean, the three-point threat hasn't really been there for Dye. He's really struggled for it this game, but, I mean, comes up when he needed to in the most important situation of the night. Cuts this Falcons lead to just 4, 43.4 seconds left to go. Falcons really, they're going to need to either make shots at the line or burn as much clock as they can. But the problem is if they're making 3 and you're only making 1 or 2 at the free throw line, you do the math, eventually they're going to catch up.
Right, you play the numbers game on that. Exactly what basketball is.
As we see now, Falcons will have the ball side out. Leskovac will be inbounding, and this is, again, an important inbound. If Canfield's going to try to force a turnover, but they've done a great job of doing that all game long. Simons trying to get off of his defender. They do get it into Simons. Simons able to get past the defender. Simons working his way past the half court, and it's a situation where you're going to have to foul Simons, and that's probably the last thing Canfield wants to do is send Simons to the line right now.
Exactly, because he could be an automatic too, and really kind of put this out of reach for Canfield or make it extremely difficult.
It makes it a lot harder when you have one of the better free throw shooters at the line. I mean, both Simons and Underwood are probably your two best free throw shooters in this game. But again, we saw this too, Brandon, against Mooney, where Mooney did the same thing, where the struggles from the free throw line really led to their ultimate demise in that game. And the Falcons, typically very good free throw shooters, and guys like Simons now missing shots at the line, and these are ones that can really come back to hurt you later on in the game.
Right, I mean, it's just a little worrisome, especially if Canfield was out gunning in these next possessions. It's going to be a critique going forward after the game.
And, I mean, again, you make one at the free throw line, now a 2 or a 3 brings you even that much closer. I mean, Canfield makes either or. They bring it to a one-possession game then, and that's got to be worrisome for the Falcons. I mean, you would obviously like a 3 more than a 2 in this situation, but either or, a 2 and a good defensive stop, you could really get back into this game.
Exactly. I mean, at least right now, in my sense, I mean, the momentum seems to in Fitch's hands, but Canfield is right on their heels, giving it right back to them.
You got to hand it to Canfield and what Coach McElroy has done with this team, and I mean, never letting them get out of it. I mean, down 17, that's a hard task to try to keep your kids like competing and just stay in this game. But I mean, doing a great job with his kids over there, and I mean, they've stayed in it. And I mean, this is a team where we talked about the 3-point shooting. If that starts coming alive a little bit, or they start making those important shots, they could come right back into this game. And I mean, from down 17, now only down 5, they've really battled their way back into this game.
Absolutely. I mean, the poise needs to stay on the hand of the Falcons. I mean, they can't just feel like this game is over right now because there's 35 seconds on the clock right now.
And, I mean, you're looking for big shots. Trey Dye getting the ball. This is the guy you're going to have to worry about. 3-point shooter between him and Slavin. Trying to work it inside. Can't let any backup threes. They go inside. Try to go shot up with Lowry. Rattles it in. Oh, my goodness. As Lowry makes the shot. Getting it in. Simons has it. Simons. And that looks like they're going to call a foul. We saw Coach McElroy saying he called timeout, trying to get the timeout out, not the foul in a sense. I mean, but 16.6, these might be the 2 biggest free throws coming up at the line right now, as Canfield only made a 2 there on that layup. But, I mean, great shot by Lowry nonetheless. But now you got to make these free throws, put them back down 5, and it really makes it a hard situation for Canfield. As Simons does have a smooth stroke from the free throw line for that first one, puts them up 4 back to a 2-possession lead. 16.6, but I mean, just hats off to Canfield and just their ability to even come back in this. And puts it up and in, finds the rattle and the lucky bounce for Todd Simons. 5-point lead for the Falcons and a 20-point lead, or 20 points on the night for Simons. Again, another 20-point performance from him. He's had a knack for it, finding those 20-point games this year.
Right, I mean, there's a reason his number's 23, right?
Yeah.
He always gets around 23, or if not well over, into the 30s.
And, I mean, you talk about it, too, and, I mean, Coach Beanie will tell you anytime that, I mean, he's looking at that record, that school record, and he's just trying to get as close to it and ultimately break it. I mean, he's aware of how many points he needs. He was aware he came in here with 1,100, and he needed the 187 to get it. He's just 20 points closer to it now, and, I mean, we talked with Coach Beanie. He said if he averages around 14 per game, he has a chance to break it. And, I mean, he's been doing well over that almost every game that he's come out here. But, I mean, we talked about it, too. We talked about it earlier today on the Power Hour as well. I mean, this is a situation, too. If he's able to indeed break a record that's been standing in Fitch since 1955, I mean, you talk about like what that does for a player, but I mean your legacy is ultimately cemented. I mean it already is. He's only one of 3 to make a 1,000-point club, but I mean you really want to cement it and say I'm the all-time leading scorer at this school. And I mean the last one stood. I mean like I took down at something that stood for 50 years. That'd be incredible. Trey Dye now bringing it up. 3-pointer is up. No good. Huge miss. Leskovac trying to save it inside to Simons, and Simons gets fouled. Will go to the line. And, I mean, that
might be curtains tie.
That should do it, as that Falcons will ultimately close out and hold off the Cardinals' comeback effort. But nonetheless, I mean, give it up to the Cardinals, Brandon. This was a great effort from the Cardinals to even try to come back. Down 17, I mean, really just battling all the way through.
Absolutely. Found the Falcons a little scared there in the last of the fourth quarter. Forced them to get back in the game as they were kind of lackadaisical, allowing them to get back in the game. But, you know, like you said, Ty, hats up to Canfield and their defensive ability to keep them in the game.
4.7 seconds on the clock. Simon's missing that first free throw, sending 2 in the back. No quick scores. Beanie's trying to make sure that doesn't happen, making his second free throw. 21 on the night for Simons and a 6-point Canfield lead. Lowry has it. Lowry going to have to heave it from 3. Missing that, goes out of bounds, and the clock will run out, and the Falcons will hold on. And I mean, maybe not the prettiest win, but a win is a win is a win, as you'll say too, Brandon. I mean, and ultimately the Falcons do come away victorious on this one, but boy, oh boy, great effort by the Cardinals coming back there.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, and like we said, I mean, they used the same script of the Falcons right on them. I mean, just effort, defense, keeping them in the game. Brought it in close, but just couldn't close it out. Missed a couple key shots.
I mean, this is what you expect too. I mean, especially with conference play, expect to see this more. I mean, Falcons, now you're entering conference play. This is going to be difficult challenges. Records go out the window, but nonetheless, huge win for Fitch. They'll go to 4-5 on the season. Canfield drops to 3-7. But I mean, we're going to have good plays going up as far as conference play is concerned. But I'd like to thank you guys all for tuning in and watching this broadcast of high school basketball. Our next broadcast, of course, will be Wednesday, tomorrow actually, January 13th. It's going to be girls basketball, Austintown Fitch girls versus Warren Harding. The Lady Raiders will be coming in to Fitch. But again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching this broadcast of high school basketball from our proud owners, DJ Yoakley and Brian Scott, that really make this all possible and happen for you, to our GM, Steve Leslie, to my color commentator, Brandon Colangelo, and most importantly to all of you that support these kids, support these schools, and just support the communities all in all. I mean, you guys are what keeps YSN running. So if you're watching from afar in Canfield supporting your Cardinals, or you're right here in Austintown supporting the Falcons, or wherever you may be in high school basketball, this is Ty Bartell bidding you all a farewell and a good night, everybody.
The following is a presentation of YSN, your sports network.
Good, rebounded, Ayla Ray, second chance opportunity, cannot get it in from free throw line. Clark went off of Clark's hands, and the Lady Falcons keep it. Jocelyn Jordan battling down low with Clark, and that's been a good battle we've seen since Jordan switched on her.
Exactly, just using her body to body the Clark up down there. Just forces the offer, and Wheeler working.
Beautiful cut from Wheeler, up and in. Chelsea Wheeler, the senior, taking a hold of this team and saying, I'll do it myself. Wheeler 18, 16 for Creaky. Steal by Ayla Ray, trying to get it inside to Perone. Beautiful reverse steal off of the hands of Clark, trying to save it. Wheeler last touched it, goes out of bounds. Lady Tigers get it back, trying to cut off the pass entirely. Minute 48, down by 5 are the Lady Falcons. Lady Tigers have possession. Need to make the inbound pass though. Lady Falcons going with a full court press, trying to get it back in and get it up court, losing the handle on the ball, losing the handle on the dribble, out of bounds. Lady Tigers keep it. And Coach Sternberger's like, come on, you just got to hold on to one of these.
Exactly. I mean, they get the 2 tips there, steals, and they just can't. It just doesn't work in their favor, Ty. It's just a shame here with the minute 43 left.
As inbounding are the Lady Tigers, trying to find somewhere to go with it. Has to get it into Mency. Mency, Creaky trying to stay in front of her. Mency able to cross the half court, trying to drive her way all the way in. Gets to a spot, works it inside. Beautiful block by Jordan. And the foul on the other end by Clark. That's going to send Jordan to the line for 2. Being in the double bonus are the Lady Falcons. Wow. Man, oh man, Brandon, that's just great defense from Jocelyn Jordan. And I mean, coming up big against Clark, who's just been dominating them all night.
I mean, what a play. Great awareness with the hands and just get it all over the ball. What a block down low by Jordan.
Chelsea Wheeler has been a huge integral part of this comeback. 18 on the night for Wheeler, 16 for Creaky, but those two, scoring-wise, have been huge. Jocelyn Jordan needing to try to come up big with free throws here after missing that first one. Really need at least a make from Jordan at the free throw line. Unable to do so, but Wheeler right there tried to get the second shot opportunity. Jocelyn Jordan there with the offensive rebound, hitting it hard again. Ayla Ray gets the foul she's looking for. 2 more free throws at the line for the Lady Falcons. Offensive rebounding is killing it, Brandon.
Exactly, Ty, and like we stated before, that rebound margin is going to be the call of the game. They got 3 boards on that possession and get fouled on the last one.
Jillian Powell checking in for the Lady Tigers, 5'11" senior for them. Ayla Ray now at the line, able to rattle that first one in, cut it to a 4-point Lady Tiger lead. And I mean, just the battle of the Lady Falcons tonight. They're starting to turn a corner. You're seeing from them, and I mean, they're turning into a more competitive group of girls that really have this offensive chemistry flow working for them right now.
Really showing that competitive grit that they developed from all those 10 games previous.
Getting the offensive rebound again is Ayla Ray. Ayla Ray kicks it to Perone, to Creaky. Creaky trying to work her way inside. Almost lost the ball. Has to kick it to Jordan. Jocelyn Jordan sets her feet from 3. Could not bank that one in. Pompelia on the baseline. And it looks like she lost it. Goes back to the Lady Falcons.
And they don't call the foul on that. And the team seems to be a little upset. Just try to get them in the huddle as there's no timeouts.
The Lady Falcons solely have the momentum in their court, down by 4. Can they take advantage? Getting it into Wheeler. Wheeler trying to find a cut, says, I'll do it myself, gets her a spot. Tried to put it in with the bank, and it looks like a foul down low. Who are they going to call it on? They're going to call that one on Jocelyn Jordan, which is going to send the Lady Tigers to the line. It's Pompelia, eager to get to the line, says, I want to get these free throws done. Huge free throws coming up in a 1-on-1 opportunity. 62 seconds left on the clock. As Pompelia going to try to really put a dagger in the comeback efforts of the Lady Falcons with some free throws. Missing that free throw, though. Getting it to the hands of Ayla Ray, who is stuck trying to avoid the jump ball. Traveling violation called down low on Ayla Ray. Lady Tigers get it back. I mean, great hustle defense from both teams all the way through.
My goodness, Ty, you said it right. Got to give it up to both teams for fighting, especially the Falcons for fighting back and knocking that double-digit lead down to 4.
As Perone trying to play good defense, they get it out to Mency. I mean, trying to burn clock right now are the Lady Tigers, and they might have to get a foul on one of them. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Jocelyn Jordan. Out to Ayla Ray. 40 seconds and ticking. Gets it to Creaky. Stops, pops, no good. Trying to fight for the rebound, out of bounds. Looks like, let's see who was last touched by. Looks like the Lady Falcons will lose possession, it looks like. Let's see. No, they're going to call it a foul. Lady Tigers will go to the line. Double bonus for the Lady Tigers. We'll send them to the line for 2 shots now. Going to the line is Maddie Mency, 4-2. 34.1. Coach Schnernberger wants to will some of these shots in, too. You see him down low.
He took Creaky's himself. Just a hard miss there. Could have put him within 2 there.
And Mency with a key miss. I mean, keeps it a 2-possession. I mean, regardless, it would have been a 2-possession lead. But still, I mean, the last points, I mean, that's just a better chance for you to come back on. 34.1. Time not in their favor. Goes out of the hands to the hands of Clark. Goes back inside to Powell. Back outside, taking a 3. Could not sink the dagger. Wheeler has it, bringing it up. 22.7 to go. Trying to go all the way. Wheeler does go all the way. Cannot finish it, though, at the rim. And that's going to be, it looks like a foul is called. Let's see. Ayla Ray picks it up, and that's just a tough miss for Wheeler. The open look, I mean, sometimes it's the ones that you're the most open that you miss. But, I mean, that was probably, and, I mean, it's unfortunate because that might be the best look that Wheeler had all night, and it's just unfortunate that she was unable to make that one. Would have been a huge bucket for the Lady Falcons.
Absolutely. It would have really kept this game in grasp. Missed free throw there.
As Mency missing her first free throw, trying to right the ship for the second, make it a 5-point lead if the Lady Tigers can. as Menzies second puts it up and in. That's a 5-point lead. Lady Falcons gonna need to work quick. 15 seconds left. Ayla Ray trying to get to her spot, gets it to Creaky. Creaky sets her feet, takes a three. Could not rattle it in. Chelsea Wheeler can't get the second chance effort. Rebounded Lady Tigers, and it should do it for this game as the Lady Tigers are going back to the line for two more, this time in Taylor Lawrence. And it's going to be an unfortunate loss for the Lady Falcons because, I mean, I would say probably their most complete game of the season, Brandon.
I would jump on that too, Ty. I mean, what a great performance they put up. I mean, coming out with the lead, trying to keep it, but weathering that, losing the lead rather to Howland and then putting up a great comeback attempt. But, you know, it seems to be they're going to lose by either 5, 6, or 7 right now. Just a shame when you put in such a great effort and can't close it out. But it's something to build on, Ty.
Absolutely, and I mean, like we said, we've consistently have seen improvements from this Lady Falcons team, and I think this is where you're starting to see more of these improvements. And I mean, before there's slight improvements too, so you might not see it because of the reflection of the score that it gives off. But now the scores are starting to slim a little bit, and this is truly a reflection of the hard work they're putting in. As Creaky unable to make that shot, it's going to be a 7-point loss. But I mean, Coach Schnernberger, lot to be proud of, lot to be happy about going forward, looking in the future, because I mean, this was a great performance from the Lady Falcons tonight.
Especially with the new starting lineup and working to great. I mean, almost to perfection if they could have came with a comeback. But real shame they couldn't pull it out. But a lot of good hustle minutes, a lot of good takeaways from this game, especially on offense.
I mean, there's a lot of the future is bright for the Lady Falcons team, definitely going forward. As I mean, got to figure out some things, got to right the ship in some areas. But I mean, the foundation bricks have been laid down, and I mean, I think this is a team that, you know, 2 years away maybe, but I mean, this is a team that I think has a lot of gamers on it and a lot of serious contenders on it. But nonetheless, great game from the Lady Tigers. Great game, I mean, from Courtney Clark. If I'm highlighting one player, 21 points on the night. I mean, just really opening up the rest of the court with just her inside scoring ability, Brandon.
Absolutely. I mean, got a lot of moves down low. Was able to put it up and in over a lot of size tonight. I mean, just great finishing moves, and what a great performance by Howland altogether. I mean, great shooting, great poise to stay in the game.
On the loss, the Lady Falcons will drop to 2-9 on the season. The Lady Tigers will go to 2-3 on the year. Next game for the Lady Falcons will come Saturday, January 23rd. They're going to be scheduled at Canfield. That's going to be at 7 p.m. tip-off. Next game for the Howland Lady Tigers is going to come on Monday, January 25th is when they're scheduled at Ursuline. And I feel like we've been saying a lot of teams are going to be playing at Ursuline lately today, Brandon. I think that's the third one now we said that Ursuline has on their schedule. So it seems like we're just visiting everyone that Ursuline's going to be.
St. Patty's Day is coming.
Yeah,
right?
Everyone that Ursuline's going to be bringing into town. But I'd like to thank you guys for all tuning in and watching this broadcast of high school basketball. To our proud owners, DJ Yoakley and Brian Scott, that make this all possible. I mean, either behind the curtains or up front. I mean, they make this all possible for these communities. To our GM, Steve Leslie, to my color commentator, Brandon Colangelo, and most importantly to all of you, the fans watching that, you know, constantly supporting these kids, these schools, and these communities. You guys are really what YSN's all about, and you guys really keep us going as a company. So we thank you. If you're watching out there from Howland country and watching the Lady Tigers from afar, or you're right here in Austintown watching the Lady Falcons, or wherever you may be in high school basketball. This is Ty Bartell bidding you all a farewell and a good day, everybody. See you in Jackson Milton.